Mic check, mic check. All right, everyone, you're looking at my new boat. No, just kidding. It's been out there for a couple of days. I figured we'd start out with that shot. We're having some issues with the mic. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's not the best quality today. Hope it's not the mixer. We've been having different lightning strikes, and the power just keeps kind of going in and out, and that's definitely not good for equipment. But we're here. A little windy, as you can probably hear. Welcome to another Sunday Live here on the 7 Mile. Sorry, I'm just sending out links to a few people. And you can take a look at that. Nice. It's definitely a yacht. The thing is huge. Nice shot. Thank you all for joining. Again, just bear with me with the sound today. Don't know what's going on with it. It's not the best. But we're going to make it work. Of course, let me know where everybody is chiming in from. What city, what state, what country. All the above. Love hearing from and knowing from where everybody's from. Gonna try to maybe do some. Let me mess with the processing here with the mic. I might make it worse. We're just gonna have to leave it. I'm not gonna do anything else. Today's agenda, we don't have anything strict. There's a couple, I would say, more announcements than anything else. Don't have any, I would say, controversial topics, at least right now on the agenda to speak about today. I would say it's more of a catch-up, more of an update. Of course, we'll talk a little bit about ThropX, and we are, I think, 20 days out, if I'm not mistaken, 20 more days, which it's getting exciting. And that's me there. Probably going to switch this around in a second, but I thought the boat was kind of cool out there, so I figured I'd show everyone while we get started, while we kind of get warmed up. Again, sorry for the inconvenience of starting late this morning. Multiple technical issues, internet issues, setting up issues, mic issues. But we're making it work. We're just rolling with it as best as we possibly can. Definitely didn't want to skip the live stream today. Get back to that boat for everyone. Yeah, wind is picking up. Usually the mixer does a better job of, blocking this, but not today. Not today. All right, let's go through some comments here real quick while we are still getting warmed up. Of course, Justin is watching them boys play. How are they doing so far? I think the game just started. Thank you, Donna. Good to see you. Methyl Nelson. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for being on. Thank you so much, Gary. Appreciate the donation. Gary chiming in from Miami. Good to see you here again. Happy Sunday, Coco and Coco. You guys are in Iron Shore. Hope you're having a wonderful time. I take it that you are. Morning again, Donna. Chiming in from Ottawa. K Natural, hello. Good to see you again. Andrew Blake says, big up Jamaica. Reggae Warriors playing in the Rugby League World Cup in the UK. Hi to Throp and all. Okay, I didn't know that. When's the game? Is it today? right now. Are you missing it? Marcia White chiming in from UK. Nice to see you. Blind guy, his wife, and their life. Happy Sunday to you as well. Okay, we started on time. Good, good, good. Happy to hear. Shayna Love Coaching. Good day to you as well. Stanley Franklin, happy Sunday to you. Glad you liked the chat on Thursday. Yeah, it was definitely a lot of light moments. We talked about some fun stuff. Yep, I agree. Stanley's suggesting we steer the chat away and have some light moments. I agree. We can definitely do more of that. You know, maybe we can even, I don't know, formalize it as part of the program, if you will. Talking about the two contest games, whatever it is, we can make it more fun and more interesting. Just sent. Good to see you chiming in from Essex, UK. African Queen in Birmingham, UK. Dale Clark chiming in from Virginia. Good to see you. Candace Chin. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. And of course, Shayna Love Coaching chiming in from the Peach State, Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Chris asks, is that my boat? Yes, it is. No, that's not my boat. I don't know whose boat it is, but it's a very nice one for sure. Mize Me World. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for joining. Jeff Holman, Alberta, Canada in the house. Awesome. You're going to be here in a few weeks. Staying Travelers, looking forward to seeing you. Shayna with the suggestions. Good idea. Happy hour with Throp or Throp Thursday chop it up session. Maybe. That could be fun. That could be something. All right, we'll put it on the list, Shayna. I think it's a good idea. Amaru checking in from Miami. Hello, Suzette. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Blind guy, his wife, their life. People do love to be entertained first. Keeping things light helps. Okay. I hear everybody loud and clear. Hi, Debbie. Afternoon. Thanks for being here. Lorraine 96 Smith chiming in from London, England. Stanley Franklin says, Throp, over the months you made me fall in love with Negril, planning to visit in January. I hope so. That would be awesome. That would be so awesome. I will be here. It'd be great to meet you. Great to see you. Shayna Love Coaching, just seen the segment in the show, not the whole show. Yeah. I hear you. I think that would be cool. Keep it light and it takes a little pressure off of me, just kind of hanging out, so to speak. Coco and Coco says, exciting new villa purchase inspired by Throp. We will launch a new digital nomad residency service in Iron Shore. Amazing. Congratulations to you guys. That's so awesome. So awesome. I know you all are going to do so well in that space. There's no question, no doubt in my mind about that. It is such a growing market, and I know that people are going to appreciate it who can work from anywhere in the world. So I wish you all the best of luck, and I know you will do well. Hold on, we're going to switch around the cameras here to make it a little bit more convenient for everyone. I want to switch it off the boat, unfortunately, but at least everybody got to see the nice ship, you can basically call it. Okay, what else we got here? Ingrid says, greeting from South Florida. Just left Mo Bay. Okay, I hope it was a good trip. Donna Bryce says, love the light moments on the last live. Our November stay at Travelers coming up. We'd love to meet you and say hi. How are the bungalow renovations coming along? Bungalow renovations are awesome. Really, I don't know if we're allowed to post pictures or not, but people are already posting pictures. Like, so proud of how those have been renovated. Really, really great job. My brother being in charge of putting it together and working with contractors and designers. I think we're bringing something to the table here in the market that is just not here, not have been seen. And I think people are and guests are really, really going to appreciate what we have to offer. And it's the first category of rooms that we've done in this round of renovation. So we're literally taking it block by block in terms of the bungalows. We have 7 standing buildings that we're going through. So we're actually renovating. We're on the next 2 that we started last week. But really, as I said before in a previous live stream, that it's like, we're really paying homage to where we started, where my father started this property. And I think that it's, instead of like we were, as I mentioned before, we were at one point considering tearing the bungalows down and putting up concrete structures, but I'm glad we didn't. The bungalow is what my dad started with the hotel, with just one of them, and he slowly built from there these wooden structures, and now we have brought them up to, I was gonna say 2022. I think they're like a 2025 standard in terms of the design, the ergonomics of the space that we have, and it's really, obviously, I'm biased, but like, I'm objectively speaking, it's a really and it's really comfy, and can't wait to roll it out to the rest of the property, the rest of the categories that we. Sorry, internet drop for a second. Thanks for asking. Dad's hip is coming along. He's still recovering. Doing some scans, which we went last week. Which I forgot to mention this as well, is that the Negril hospital. So we went to. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we had to do some scans last week, and we went to the Negril hospital, which is just such a convenience. Omega Medical Center, or Omega Medical Hospital, I think it's called, and they are looking. It's such a great convenience, and like a super plus that we have that in Negril. And I mentioned this before. They do like CT scans, MRI machine, I think, is coming on later this month. They have physical therapists. Like, it's a lot of conveniences that we have that we didn't have before. And these scans, we'd have to travel to, say, Montego Bay or to Sav. The Montego Bay, hour and a half, Sav 45 minutes, and like here it's like almost across the street from Travelers. And it really changes the makeup of the lifestyle here, I would say, in Negril. Like, it just a huge convenience, especially those worried about healthcare, quality of service. It's a beautiful building. It's a very beautiful hospital. It's state-of-the-art designed, and it's, something that, and not only Jamaica should be proud of, but definitely Negril should be proud of. And I think we are. I think this is going to attract a lot of different markets, segments that we may not have necessarily attracted, both from a tourism perspective and also that of residents living here. That's something that, especially for maybe people who are in the retirement age, is looking for good quality and convenient healthcare, especially for any sort of chronic health challenges that any of us may have. And we want to be able to go somewhere close. And that was one thing that has been lacking in Negril, is that concerned about going to, say, Sav Lamar or going to Montego Bay to get certain services done. So, you have a good GPs here in Negril that have already been here, but now you have a bunch there in the hospital. And then we talk about other health services. We have a dentist, we have an optometrist, and those are the three major ones. I don't know if that hospital does any surgeries. I can actually find out, but again, chronic stuff that you need to deal with. It also has a pharmacy in there as well. Huge plus for Negril. Huge plus for Negril. But thank you for asking, Stanley. I appreciate that. I'll let my dad know. Scotty Bima, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Let's see if the other camera is working. Oh yeah, got the opposite side. Cool. We are up and running. Sorry, this mic isn't as crisp as I would like, but we're making it work. Hey, Chesley, good afternoon. Good to see you. Thank you, Julia, for justice. Yes, renovation is very exciting. We're also doing the lobby, I should mention. So that it's, I think the most major are inconvenient parts, as far as at least inconvenient for the guests, have been done, where we are redoing our reception area. And if you've been here even a few months ago and you come back today, next week, you'll see some pretty major differences in the lobby. So we're still refining and going through that. And it's definitely like an exciting time for us as a family and as a company with these renovations that are coming on board. How far is the new high-low from Travelers? Oh, I was going to jump the gun on me, Donna, here. Okay, we can talk about it. So that is less than 2 miles north up the beach. Let me give you guys the beach scene here. So going up that way, nowhere near as far as the point there, but it is less than 2 miles away, across the street from Negril Treehouse, pretty much. And this is something that was on the agenda that I wanted to speak about, but might as well do it now as you bring it up, Donna. So we have the newest high-low in all of Jamaica that opened up conveniently down the road. And I mentioned this before about the plaza that it's in. So that is Boardwalk Plaza. And that whole, if we can go back a little bit, like a lot of the traffic in terms of like getting business done in the history of Negril has been downtown. So at Sunrise Shopping Village, they had the NCB Bank, they had high-low, like two major anchor shops, and then you had like gift shops, and then above they have actually rooms and accommodations that you can stay. So for a very long time, that's where you did a lot of business, and both like business, and then also like personal business as well, was all downtown. Now, I might as well bring up the map since I can. So let's, I think it's just important to kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about here in terms of the shift in movement. And kind of, I don't necessarily know what that necessarily means. I can definitely tell you like what is going to happen in terms of like kind of how people move, so to speak. All right, so let's back this up. Go to the map. Let's throw some layers on there. And I realize I got to move a little bit slow because of the lag. Hold on. I'm going to try to switch back to Wi-Fi because that. Okay, there we go. We're good. Okay. Okay. So we got the map up and running here. Let me take down Donna's comment so we have a good view. And so, okay, it actually still says high-low food stores here. So what it used to be, and when I say used to be, like probably a few days ago, is that the and I don't know if they're going to keep this store. I'm not sure if they're going to keep both stores. So this was Sunshine or is Sunshine Plaza, and there's Hilo here, which is a supermarket, and then NCB used to be here. And so what happened maybe 2-3 years ago, NCB moved from the plaza, and so it still has the name here. National Commercial Bank Limited is still there on this Google map. That needs to be updated. So they moved from here, and then they moved north up the beach to Boardwalk Shopping Plaza, and now recently Hilo, I don't know if they're moving, but I would assume they're moving from this plaza up to Boardwalk Village, which we'll get to in a second. But unfortunately, like, Sunshine Plaza, it's not what it used to be in its heyday. I'll say that. It was at one point it was a very beautiful plaza, and again, where most people, many people went to on a regular basis to get their business done. And so anyway, let's zoom out a little bit. And let's move up the beach, and I'll show you where the new plaza is. So here's Travelers Beach Resort, where I am right now. And we'll move further up the beach, up Norman Manley Boulevard. And I think we're right. Hold on, let's see. That's too far. Okay, here we are. So this is Boardwalk Shopping Village, and this is where the new Hilo is. So I believe, yeah, this is the Hilo building right here. This is Treehouse, so literally right across the street from Treehouse. And so this is where the NCB Bank is as well. And then you have Hilo, so that's obviously really shifting a lot of. It's shifting a lot of the movement of Negril. I haven't been to the Hilo yet. I'm actually going to go there and check it out. I usually go to Quality Traders. I'm not going to forget Quality Traders. They have a lot of brands that I get or am used to from in New York. So I'm going to still continue shopping there and still going there. But it's definitely a huge convenience to have a brand new, and I would think a modern state-of-the-art supermarket on the beach road. Like, that's huge. That's mega for people living here and people visiting. And then in the plaza as well, there's gift shops, there's a juice store, there's multiple restaurants. Matthews is there. They have hibachi, they have sushi. There's a pharmacy there. There is, I think they're opening a laundromat there, I understand. There's, if you have an electric car, you could charge your car there. So it's a very convenient place, and that's a theme that I see like in Jamaica, is like these plazas that try to like have everything there for you conveniently. And at first, like, I didn't understand it, but like thinking like when you, especially in Kingston, it makes sense, but it also makes sense here in Negril, is that it's just like so, unfortunately, it's just such a hassle to get around, especially like in a place like Kingston, like going from one place to another with traffic. It can take a very, very long time. So if you have a plaza that has like 3 or 4 stores that you can get 3 or 4 things done, checked off on your list of, say, if you needed some running around to do, like, it's a huge convenience. And Boardwalk Shopping Village does a great job in accomplishing that and in making that convenience. And there's a barber there, there's a salon, there's a spa, that's as well. So you could kind of do like a lot of things. There's Chill Pops there. That's a very, I would say, so at least social media famous place that a lot of people and influencers go to have these rum and alcohol infused popsicles. So it's again a huge convenience for the community, and I know a lot of people are excited about it. On a bunch of the Negril Facebook pages, that was what a lot of people were talking about. And of course, when I go there today, I'll film and be able to share what it's like with everybody. If not this week, if it's this week for sure, but if not Thursday for that, as part of the live stream. I'll put together a video for everybody to see. But very, very excited. I know everybody's like, oh, it's just a, a grocery store, right? But no, it's more than that. It's more than that. It also, like, I also look at it as it's like improving the quality of your experience here in Negril as well. It's like having a nice supermarket. And then when you look at, I'm not saying, Quality Traders isn't a nice supermarket, like it is. I do enjoy going there, and they do have great brands. Is one of the main reasons why I go there. But there's it's a new one. It's a modern. I would venture to think that it's more modern just because it was recently built. So it's definitely something that everyone is excited about. And then I also want to couple that with, maybe overselling the grill here, but I want to couple that with the new hospital as well. To me, it's like that goes hand in hand. And when we think about, when we start talking about the convenience and then also the quality of life here in Negril, and those are two major pluses. And again, when people are deciding like, hey, do I live in Negril? Do I live in Montego Bay? Do I live in Kingston? And they start looking for things that they are used to and they expect. And are we checking off some of these major boxes? Are some of these major concerns that people have? And I think with healthcare, for sure, that's obviously should be a number one in everybody's list. The hospital conference is that. And then when we're talking about convenience and quality of life, a great supermarket does that, especially if they do have a lot of international brands that people are used to and expect when they are living in another place that new place that they're calling their new home, so to speak. So again, don't want to belabor the point. I think it's just a great plus. And then we also, in addition to that, I don't know if I mentioned this before, that right next to the hospital, they're building another plaza, a KFC plaza. I don't know if that's what it's going to call, but there's going to be a KFC there. And so, if you got your high retention for KFC, you can go right to the hospital. Like, that's kind of like the running joke, but it's nonetheless, it's a brand new plaza that's coming on board. That's going to be on Norman Manley Boulevard, and it's new construction. And again, I think this speaks to a lot to what people are. It speaks a lot to the high interest in Negril, and then also in Jamaica. It speaks to the confidence that these companies, these developers, these builders have in Jamaica and have in Negril. And I don't know what other stores are going to be in that plaza, or the KFC plaza, let's call it. But I'm sure they're going to be great. I'm sure they're going to be great. So you got I'll bring up the map again, or we can go to the map and we can show you where that is. So again, as a reference point, Travelers Beach Resort is here. This is where I am, right here. And then just up here is the hospital. So this is the hospital right here. And then, updated map. So this right here, this blank space that you see here, they've leveled this, as you can see, and flattened it out. And actually, they already have the foundation, and I saw it, I think yesterday, the day before, when I went for my run. And so they're a lot further along than this. So this is Boom Boom right next to each other. And then I heard the CEO of the TEF talking about Negril Beach Park. And this is actually a big priority of the Tourism Enhancement Fund, is developing the Negril, the Norman Manley Beach Park, which is right here, which unfortunately is closed, but it's a great green space, and they are looking to develop it something to the effect of Harmony Beach Park in Montego Bay. And so this is where Norman Manley Beach Park is, and that hasn't started. I don't know where that is with things. And another major project is the fruit and vegetable market, which is right here. And so that is under construction, and that is coming along. So there's I would say major projects that are happening in Negril that are already on stream. I wouldn't say on stream, but they're being streamlined as far as development, and super exciting. Very very exciting to see where the community is going and what's happening. So this kind of just bringing everybody up to date and in terms of what's happening here on the ground, and just kind of just need to stay the course, so to speak. This has been a long time coming, and I think some of these things may take a year or maybe 18 months to come to completion. The Beach Park, I hope they start it early next year. I doubt they're going to start it this year. I could be wrong, but the way these things work, it could kind of take some time. It could take some time before it gets started, at least the construction of it. So those are the updates that I have that I wanted to bring to the table as far as Negril is concerned. Shane of Coaching Sister Jamaicans love them KFC. Yeah. So good point. Good point, Shayna. So that, I would say, that is definitely like one of the big concerns that people have. And when I say people, I would say the Negril community has, is the traffic. And as you can see from the map, there is one way in and one way out of Negril, and there is only, I shouldn't say one way in, it's two ways. So it's, you either come in from the north and leave from the south, sort of thing, and vice versa, and that's it. We don't have a bypass road. We don't have a second road. And if you remember from a previous live stream we did, they're talking about doing a bypass of Norman Manley Beach Park, because if you live in, I don't know, even downtown Negril, and you're trying to get to Orange Bay or you're trying to get to Green Island, like now to get through Norman Manley Boulevard, like one, we have the rumble strips, which we need. That's I'm not complaining about that, slows down traffic. And then you're going to have these major businesses and these major plazas that are coming on board, especially KFC. And everybody has seen, if you've driven by a KFC, probably any time of the day, anywhere in Jamaica, the drive-through line is down the street and around the block. Like every time, like always. Like that is how popular it is, especially in Montego Bay. They have 3 KFCs in Montego Bay, if I'm not mistaken. And every time that you go there, you drive past or you're online, the drive-through is crazy. And forget about it if it's a Saturday night. Forget about it. It's crazy. And that is without a doubt what's going to happen here. There's no question in my mind. People are going to drive from Sav, Green Island, Orange Bay, all of the surrounding areas to come to Negril to get KFC. There's no, especially if it's a new KFC. Obviously, Sav has a KFC, so maybe not. But nonetheless, Little London, people are going to come to Negril. So you're going to have all this extra traffic coming onto Norman Manley Boulevard. And, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with that? And we've seen, I don't think this is going to be the case, but like with Dream Weekend, for example, like right now, to drive the entire boulevard, it probably takes 15 minutes. Dream Weekend is 3 hours. I don't think we're going to get to that point here, but I can't imagine the combination of KFC and Dream Weekend. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to get a motorcycle or something so I can get through this traffic, it's going to be insane. So anyway, they were talking about doing a bypass, which I don't know where they're going to do, how they're going to do it, because this morass, this is all protected land. All this green that you see here, the Great Morass, this is all protected by NEPA. So there's no development that can be done here. So, I mean, you're talking about, and these are the mountains. I don't know where you're going to do it, but you'd have to do it behind the morass, I'm assuming. I mean, unless there's some sort of special covenant that I'm unaware of that would allow development or construction in the morass, because even the construction of a road or a bridge, I doubt it would be a bridge, but to do a road through the morass, like it's wetland, like that's going to be extremely expensive. And then you're gonna kill, I don't know how many species you're gonna kill, or you know, at least their habitats. You're definitely gonna. It's gonna be very, very destructive in that sense. So I don't imagine that even being an option. So, and then of course you got a river to cross as well, which I don't think is a big deal. They can build a small bridge, but these are different things, inevitabilities that I'm thinking about. With the new KFC Plaza, and then also with the idea of having some sort of bypass road. All right, let's get back to the comments here. Right. Oh, missed quite a few here. Rainy Day Lifestyle, hello. Thanks for joining. Good to see you. Yes, thank you. I'm feeling a lot better. Scotty Beamer, yes, this is your virtual JA Escape. Happy to be able to provide that for you. Hello, Miss Perfectly Imperfect. Yeah, the beach is nice. The wind is picking up. Hi, Seema. The wind is picking up. I'm sure you hear it in the mic. And it's still a nice day, though. It's still a nice day. I don't see any clouds or anything rolling in, so we should be good in regards to the rain, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Coco and Coco says Boardwalk Plaza has a great new hardware store and great parking entrance exit. Good for the area. Oh yeah, I've seen the hardware store. I haven't gone inside, but actually I did go inside, but I didn't check out what they have. But also huge convenience that, having that in a plaza. Julia for Justice chiming in from Canada. Paul Williams says good morning. Throp and Throppers here from in Sacramento, California. Nice to see you. Ingrid says beach is too nice. The last Sunday was in Negril on a catamaran and did some snorkeling. Fun time. Awesome. It was your first time. Wonderful. And yes, I pulled out the map. Okay. Simone says, hello, Throp and Throppers. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Yep, Chris, I did the investment conversation yesterday with the wealth manager from NCB Wealth Management. I'll hop into that right after we get through these comments for sure. Andrew Blake says Jamaica Rugby League Reggae Warriors 2 Ireland 48. That does not sound good. That does not sound good. Shayna Loves Gorgeous says KFC in Jamaica is like Chick-fil-A in America in regards to customer traffic. Yeah. Crazy. Julia for Justice says save the morass. Yeah, definitely. We're not going to be... I don't think the community would allow any construction in the morass for that matter. Not even any major, but any construction. Hey, Susan Gordon, thanks for joining. Good to see you. Justice says I'm really late getting back here. No problem. I can't even stay. Need to get ready and go work issue. Okay, sorry to see you leave, man. But yeah, like you said, you can catch it on the replay and see you on Thursday. Hopefully, if you can make the live stream on Thursday. Hey, Paul, chiming in from the UK. Good to see you. CK Bond 41. Yeah, sorry we started without you. My apologies. We won't let that happen again. Ash Fancy Ash. Hey, Throp and Throppers. Sunday greetings from Bedfordshire, UK. Awesome. Thank you for joining. Nice to see you. Okay, so Chris asked about the investment podcast. I didn't post it. I just recorded it. Hopefully it's going to take a few days to edit it, as a matter of fact. But I have to get it out this week for a few reasons. But it just has to be. It has to get out this week. It's like super, super important because they are NCB. I should say Cleopatra is coming as a speaker, and looking for NCB support in it. So it's important that we get the video out so they can see it and they can. I have to say, she did such an excellent, amazing job. And I also have to thank everybody for their questions that you, Chris, for all the questions that you had. And then also anybody who had questions in regards to in regards to investing in the financial markets here in Jamaica. She did an amazing job. I learned so much, I have to say. Cleopatra is amazing. She knows what she's talking about. She's actually the manager for the Western Region NCB Wealth Management Division. And she just knows her stuff. Like she knows her stuff like that. And she can speak from experience. And we talked a lot about her personal approach to investing, her personal approach to personal finance, and what she teaches her family and her children. And it's just kind of so amazing to hear her, like how her young son thinks about investing in finance. Like he's in the markets. I think he's 7, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe older, maybe a little bit older. But he's taking like even 500 Jamaican dollars, $3 and change, that he's investing in the market. And he's very, very adamant about it. And it was just like so amazing to hear that knowledge is being passed down to the next generation. And I was telling her, like, that sort of knowledge and information being passed down to the next generation, it's going to have such like a wide impact on his circle of friends, his community, because he's thinking like that already at this age and understanding how financial markets work and understanding how personal finance works. And he's just, when he turns 18 or when he gets his first job, he's just going to be so much further ahead. And I said this before, like I really didn't start learning about finance, especially personal finance, until, well, at least corporate finance, I didn't start really learning about until my junior year in college. And then personal finance, probably not until my mid-20s, where like I really started taking it seriously and thinking about investing as opposed to saving, or knowing the difference and appreciating compound interest, and using dollar cost averaging in your investment strategy. And so it was like just a really proud moment to hear her teaching her kids, both her kids, along these lines, and to develop this mentality and this approach towards money and building wealth, and her and her family building generational wealth. So it's just super, super awesome to hear. And I was just, and like in our conversation, I was like, all right, how can we get this out to more kids? How can we get this information into schools, like as part of the curriculum? And Cleo told me that she does go to schools from all ages and speaking about the importance of financial literacy. And that's great, but then we were also saying, like, why isn't this part of the curriculum? And then also in the United States too, this is the same thing. Like I feel, why wasn't, and I don't know what the curriculum is in the US now, but why isn't personal finance part of the curriculum of even at least high school? Like there should be a course on that. And I never had that. I didn't even have accounting in high school. I didn't get into accounting until college. I hope that's changed, because, these are some basic fundamental life skills that everybody needs to have. Otherwise, you're just gonna, especially if you're coming from a family that may not necessarily be not even well off, but even middle class, or the parents didn't go to college. And then, that's the category that I fall into. Like neither of my parents went to college, and they were trying to navigate the U.S. school system as best they could. And then they're also trying to navigate the system as adults themselves and learning about it and understanding how America works. And, this is in, for my dad, this is in the 60s and 70s. And then for my mom, this was in the 80s. And, they're trying to figure this out and navigate it. And it's not easy. And, you learn the hard way. But when I think about this generational knowledge passing down, is this that my dad and my parents, they learned the hard way and the hard knocks way, really, and they passed that down to us, and then we grew up in it, so we understand the system, and then we'll also pass that along to our kids. So like I know the importance of financial literacy and the importance of having a grasp of your own personal finance and goal setting, etc. And I'm going to pass that down to my kids. And I didn't have that from my parents, and like, no shade to them or anything like that. And, but it's just one, we get smarter from one generation to another. And I think Cleopatra, with her and her kids and her sharing that story with me, is in my mind a shining example of that. And I'm sure many of you out there can relate to exactly what I'm talking about. So it's just really, really awesome to see and awesome to hear from Cleo. Hey, Kevin, happy Sunday to you as well. Paul from UK. Good to see you. Jeff Holman says the best solution to get Negril is to widen and improve the B8 highway to Sav and improve the road from Sav to Negril. For sure. So I think that's a given, and they're already going to do a bypass. I just don't know. The bypass isn't my idea. I just don't know where they're going to do it. I just don't know where. CK Bond 41 says, it's the parents that got to teach them financial literacy. Yeah, I agree. My dad taught us like save. Like when I got my first job at 14, he was just telling me like the importance of saving every, like, more than half your paycheck, and that's definitely what my dad had taught me, is how to save and the importance of saving. But obviously there's more to financial literacy and more to personal finance than saving, which is important. The other part of that is having your money work for you when you're sleeping, and having your money work for you while you're having your 9 to 5, and understanding the power of compound interest as well. And, having these conversations, the younger, the better kind of thing. That's at least my thinking. MDL says, hi, Throp and Throppers, chiming in from Sinton, Maryland. Good to see you. Julie for Justice, even in Canada, no fundamental life skills taught in school, i.e. filing taxes. Yeah, let's not get into that. Didn't know. I mean, so many things you just got to just learn on your own, unfortunately. But these life skills, like you're saying here, Julia, like they should be part of the curriculum, or at least like a weekend course at the very, very least, something. But something is better than nothing, I think, in my mind. Glendale Lifestyle says, I may be aging myself here, but they used to have accounting as mandatory back in high school in the U.S., but later dropped it. Yeah, I know. I can say I never had an accounting class in high school. I remember my roommate in college, he grew up in upstate New York, and he had multiple accounting classes. And I remember I was struggling in college accounting because I just never had this before. Like I couldn't, it took me so, as simple and stupid as this may sound, like it took me so long to understand the concept of debits and credits. Like it's like just too long, and it took me so long to grasp a lot of accounting concepts. And but it takes, especially if you've never been exposed to it, and there was almost, I wouldn't say an expectation from my professors that this stuff, but you were certainly at an advantage if you were exposed to accounting beforehand. And that's kind of what, like, I was supposed to be like what they call like what was it? A finance something major. It was a major that combined accounting and finance in one, but I just couldn't get the finance. I mean, I couldn't get the accounting. Like, it just took me I couldn't get it fast enough. So I ended up just being a finance major and just doing that because, like, for whatever reason, I got the concepts in finance. I understood that. It was just more practical to me. But again, if I had the accounting background, maybe I would have done it. I'm not making excuses for myself, but I just think accounting, and as Julia says, even filing taxes, these are life skills that are just so important. And I'm just like, man, we should definitely be teaching this kind of stuff in school. CK Bond says, Throp, you have the internet to learn from. There are so much videos on YouTube about trading and investing. Yeah, and that's where I learned most of that stuff. Reading books, YouTube. I mean, now kids have that, but do they have the initiative in them to go out and do this? Do they have the understanding and appreciation of the importance of learning these skills? And a lot of people aren't self-driven, hence the institution of education that at least is forcing 90-something% of society to go to school, to go and complete high school, that sort of thing. But and the one thing I would say school, and especially college, has taught me is yes, the knowledge, but more so is like how to do research and how to figure out. And we're obviously going back to the days of library before the internet, and going to the Dewey Decimal System, and going through and like finding the card, and then knowing the card telling you where the book, like we know what that is, right? Back in the day. So it like forced you to learn how to research. It forced you to learn to figure out how to teach yourself certain whatever it is that you were trying to learn. And so that is like, and it forced you to learn how to study as well. I think that's like a big thing that I got out of college, more than the knowledge, is just like, because you learn about yourself in terms of retaining information, and then also you understand your mood, your best time to retain information, and how to do it. And it kind of keeps you disciplined, especially with the timelines of papers and tests, etc. So you learn your own capabilities, and you learn the circumstances under which that you need to succeed and thrive. And then there are many circumstances, at least in my college experience, where it wasn't the most ideal, but you learn to get past whatever adversity that you are facing during that time, and during these crunch moments, you kind of really see what you're made of. And then you kind of bring these theoretical, in a safe bubble of academia circumstances, and then you apply it to real life, where you don't have the safety net of school, you don't have the safety net of your parents, etc., and hopefully that you're able to apply these skills that you've learned in that academic bubble, and you can apply them to real life, and you can be successful because you've gone through it in that way. So I would say that was probably one of the main things that I've learned by going to school. And to your point, now, like, especially in this day and age, like I think all of us, depending on how old you are, like, if you of course have lived and understood a world without the internet, without Google, without YouTube, this, like, many of the things that we find that we used to find hard, is just like, this stuff is a breeze, and we can go out there and get this information and learn and sit down and learn from others through YouTube, unlike before. So the generations who are growing up in this and having this, like, of course they'll never understand the Dewey Decimal System, or what it's like to go to a library and try to find a book so we can learn this information, and citing our sources directly from these different pieces of literature. So it's a different world, and I would just hope that the young people who may not have access to this basic information as it relates to finance and financial literacy, that there is some sort of drive. I think that's the most important part, and I think the point that I'm trying to hit home here, that there is some sort of drive that would incentivize them to, one, realize that this information is important for them to learn, and then two, to have the motivation to go out and actually learn it. Thanks for that, CK. Kitty B, peace, Throp, good day, everyone. Good to see you. Yes, Shayna, I see that a lot. The UK is heavy in the chat today. Ingrid Baby 51 says, I opened two TD Ameritrade accounts for my 8-year-old daughter and 18-year-old son. They will be well on their way building wealth. Our parents couldn't teach us about investing because they didn't have the knowledge as well. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But again, we learn from generation to generation. Like now, I mean, your kids are probably way further ahead than you were at their age, and their kids are going to be the same way when they get to their age that they are now. So this is how we build generational wealth. This is how we build generational knowledge, is like that foundation, one on top of the other. And that's amazing. Congrats, Ingrid. Glendale Lifestyle says, I may be age. Okay, we already read that one. Glendale grew up in the South, so it could have been different, and a lot older than you, maybe. Julie, for Justice Accounting was optional in high school in Canada for me. I did not take it. I wish I had been forced to take it. Yeah, I think that you have to take accounting. Like, what? That's crazy. To me, it's crazy, that we don't take like a basic accounting course in school. Like, that's crazy. And so that's one thing that me and Cleo were talking about, is that this stuff should be part of the curriculum here in Jamaica. Like, it's just so important. And to me, this type of knowledge and information is how you bring yourself and maybe your family out of poverty within one generation. That's, we should be able, like in the world that we live in today, at least in Jamaica, the opportunities are there, but I don't think the knowledge is being spread across, not even evenly, but it's not even being put out there in a way that I think people can understand so they can help themselves. And like that was the crux of our conversation, because understanding the power of compound interest is like, it's just incredible. And then it's just also developing and this may be hard and probably very easy for me to say in my position, but developing the mindset of having financial patience and knowing that, not having the expectation that I put in $1,000 this year, I hope to have $2,000 next year by just leaving it there. And that's just not the way the money works. And the way the money works, as probably many of you, if not all of you know, is just like, one is it takes a long time, and the greatest asset that you have if you're a young person is time, and is investing early, because that money is going to compound over many, 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 many years and decades. And when you are ready for it, say to buy your first home or to retire, your car, whatever it is, you've allowed your money to work for you for extended periods of time. And then also the importance of even doing dollar cost averaging, and it doesn't have to be on a daily or weekly basis. It could be monthly, it could be quarterly, but the fact of the importance of just adding more to the pot of your financial war chest, so to speak, on a regular basis, on a basis that you can afford, right? Whatever it is. And we talked, very small numbers that I think that the average Jamaican could afford. And again, when I say that, I may be talking from a position of privilege, and maybe easier for me to say these things, but I think if people understood from and when I say understood, not just the words, but they know and they believe in the concept of compound interest. They know that putting $1,000 away into your 1,000 Jamaican, that is $1,000 into an interest-bearing account, or into an investment account, whatever type of investment account it could be, like that. It will mean so much more to them than 10 or 20, 30 years down the line by making that sacrifice on a weekly basis now. And it can be very hard, because you may be in a position where you're literally paycheck to paycheck, and you are not sure where the next meal is coming from, or that is on the top of your mind. And that's a very, very difficult position to be operating from. Very difficult. And I don't take that lightly at all. And hopefully we get to a point where, and when I say we as Jamaican and the average Jamaican can, becomes like a regular conversation, that the average Jamaican is investing and is putting even a little bit of money away in an investment account on a monthly basis. What says good day, Throp? Hello, all in the chat. Bob, shout out from Bloody Bay. Okay, right up the street. Good to see you, Bob. Thanks for joining. King Naldo, hey, Throp and Throppers from Maryland. I'm late as usual, checking in. Good to see you, man. Always nice to have you. Metho Nelson, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation. Really, really appreciate that, as always. Metho asks, would love to hear your thoughts on limited versus full service hotels, and is it worth hiring a manager company from the U.S. for the U.S. market? Thanks. What would you define as limited versus full service hotels? And I'll talk while you clarify that for me. And so I'll think in my head, a limited service hotel, maybe more of like a bed and breakfast. Maybe is that what you could be alluding to? And that, I'm trying to think of a specific example of here in Negril that I can think of. That's obviously not quite an Airbnb where you just kind of show up, you do your own thing. But as you hopefully clear that. Okay, we're on the same page. So to start with, and I don't know if you're in the hotel business, Metho, like, operating a hotel is a very, it's a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 day business. Like there's no doubt. It's a very operational heavy type of business to be in. And I would say whether it's you or you have a team managing, it's just like so important that people do have whoever it is, that there is a passion for hospitality. There's a passion for service. There's a passion for making people happy, especially in a place like Negril, where people are coming to vacation and coming for leisure, to relax, rejuvenate, etc. And I would say it's been challenging over the years for us to find a manager that we would feel comfortable with taking over our family's business. And now we are at a point, and we've been doing this for, I would say, a few years. We're building a team internally to take over the operations of the hotel. And what I mean by take over is like allowing us, me and my brothers, to not be in the operations of the hotel and trust a qualified, capable team to run and manage the property, and having strong leadership at that. And that's kind of where we are. We've been approached by management companies to come in and take over our property, but it's a very, I would say, it's a daunting thought, and not something that I would say that we would be completely against. Because of course we have our team to think about. We have, and like what would happen with that, and the people who've been here. We have people who've been here over 20 years. We have people who've been here 15, 8, multiple people who've been here 15 years, 18 years, many people who've been here over 10 years. And so you have a very mature staff body who's loyal and is committed to the company, to the family, to the many, many guests who come here year after year after year. And we've built this family over these decades together. And we think, like, how are they going to be treated by this company, this hospitality management company coming in? Are they going to fire them? Are they going to get rid of them? Are they going to be respected? Like, so all these things run in our minds. I mean, on the opposite side, it would be super amazing. Like, we don't have the headache of operating our business, but we have somebody that could come in and do it based on a fee. That's great. It's very, very appealing. We've actually been approached by this company. They are this was a few years ago. They were founded in Jerusalem, or at least the CEO is from there, and they operated out of Panama City, Panama. And they wanted to basically do a 20-year deal for the same thing, and they come and operate the hotel and pay us a monthly fee. But it was too much of a huge risk for us, because it's like, what if they fail? They had this very different concept than what we had here, and they'd come in and they'd rebrand, but we would be getting this check every month, and like without thinking about the operations, and it would free us up and allow us to work on other projects. But again, what if they fail? And they weren't willing to pay for that risk and to compensate us for that risk, because if they come in, they renovate, they rebrand, do this, do that, they're going after a completely new clientele base. We like everybody that's used to coming to travelers and being here, they would have to find somewhere else. Or, maybe some people would stay, but for the most part, they're not the clientele that this particular company would be going for. And so we lose all that, and they only last 3 years. They only last 5 years, and they cancel the contract. They leave. They go wherever. I mean, are we going to sue them in Jamaica? Probably not. So they weren't willing to compensate us for that risk, because they failed 2, 3 years, 5 years, even 10 years. Then we got to come in and start completely over. No way. So we decided not to do that, and we decided not to do that. But that was kind of our experience. To answer your question directly, is it worth hiring a managing company? It could be, because you'd have to be, and it also depends on what kind of deal that you're going to be working out. Is this company going to be getting paid a flat fee? Are they going to be, is it a percentage of revenue? Is the contract going to be incentivized somehow? And then how much of the property are they taking over? And I would assume they're taking over everything, and get me, and if you can make me understand it. So I would assume they're taking over marketing the hotel. So this is, and like, marketing is not marketing back in the day. Marketing is not putting up ads and billboards in even digital space. Marketing is really managing OTAs. Like that's like the biggest marketing. OTAs, online travel agents. So your Expedias, your Orbits of the world, whatever have you, like these online travel agents. And are you managing those extranets, or is this managing company doing that? Because that is your I wouldn't, depending on the model you're going for, but that could be a very big part of your revenue. And so are they managing that, or are they just coming in to just manage the property? So, and manage the property in the sense of they're just taking care of the surface aspect of it. But it's also intertwined, right? Because the left hand has to know what the right hand is doing, because even accounting, like, are you outsourcing accounting, or is that also part of the management company as well? And so these are a lot of questions, I would say, that you'd have to ask yourself, and then even ask the managing company, because to do that also, it's going to cost. You're going to be giving up a piece of the pie, but also you don't have, again, the stress of managing and operating a hotel. I don't care what size hotel it is. It could be a 20-room hotel. It could be a 200-300 room hotel. Like, it's a very, very tough business. But if you do it yourself, or you build a team, and that has its own challenges as well. Or, maybe you build a team and you have a general manager, and then they are also maybe human resources. I don't know how big of the property are you thinking here, Metho? Sorry, I'm seeing your next comment coming here. So the labor market here in the U.S. is such that hiring a manager company may be better. That's the biggest problem. Oh, you mean in terms of hiring people? Well, I would say I talked about this yesterday at the event that I went to. You'll have the same issue here in terms of the labor market. It's really, really challenging. And I would say for almost at least a year, it's challenging to find help here, to find good quality help. And it's very, very hard. And we're not the only company that is having this. Most hotels have the same exact issue in getting people back into the labor force. And we're just not having that at this time. And like, we're not having, especially the quality of candidates come in, and a lot of them come in for a little bit, maybe a few weeks, and then they quit. I don't know. I was talking to another GM, and they hired it was a waitress. This is at a much larger property than us. And she was telling me they hired a waiter, not a waitress. They hired a waiter, and he worked for like a week and a half, maybe 10 days. And he's like, this is too much work. And he quit. And she's like, this is the experience that they've been having so far. And she feels that young people are just not willing to work, are wanting to work right now. So it's not just a U.S. thing, I'd say that it's not just a U.S. thing in terms of finding good quality help and finding people to work right now. So don't feel bad, I think. And my friend, this is outside the hospitality industry. My friend has a UPS store in the States, and same thing with him. He can't find, like, he'll have somebody come in, they'll work for a few weeks, and then they'll quit, and he has to be back in the store managing and doing this. So, and he's been doing this for months, and like having this turnover, and this is something new. This is post-pandemic and this is kind of the life that he has right now. He wants to come down for ThropX, but he he may not be able to come because he may not have somebody to manage the store just for the weekend, so he could come down for it, and he's interested in investing in Jamaica. But who knows if that's gonna happen? But again, this is not something that's unique to the States. Like, we have the same issues down here as well. CK Bond, thank you for the donation, man. Really appreciate it. CK says, Throp, good luck to the person you get from Jamaica operating your hotel. I'm talking with experience dealing with workers from Jamaica. Yeah, it's hard. Like, we've been, even when the labor market wasn't like this, it was difficult. We went through, and we've made our, and I'll take, as least being the leader at that time, like, I'll certainly take responsibility for some of the failures that I have had in terms of bringing in strong leadership here, and implementation and transition for that person is so important, and I would say, like, I won't get into details, but, like, that's where I messed up, and I would say I didn't take, I'll take responsibility for not having the best transition for these leaders, but I don't think they were good fits. And that's another thing is, it's like so important, is that the company culture, and knowing, I just speaking from my personal experiences, like, knowing and understanding your company culture to a T, to a science, is so important, because the fit of that leader, especially if they're coming in with an already established team, and we have a mature team here. We have, like I said, we have multiple people that are over 10 years, multiple people that are over 15 years. I think we have one that is over 20, only one that is over 20 years. And that number continues to grow larger. And so having, again, a leader come into an already mature and established team, there are nuances that cannot be overlooked in that transition. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of fit and the importance of culture. Thank you for the questions. I haven't talked hospitality or hotel in a long time, so that was a nice little opportunity there. Susan Gordon says, financial literacy, I find, is needed in every school at every level. Agreed. Glennie Dale Lifestyle says, yes, so true, because that is your brand. That's right. Talking about the hotel. Susan Gordon, I would not trust hiring a managing company to run my business. This is dangerous, especially if the company does not operate from Jamaica. It's a risk for sure. I don't know of any, I can speak here in Negril, I don't know of any hotels in Negril that have an outside managing company running their hotel. There are like I believe it's one of these larger all-inclusives. They have a managing company from Mexico that runs their company, but I believe they've done business before, and they've been holding hands before this, so that's part of their model. But again, I don't know of either Jamaican or U.S. hospitality management company that is managing a hotel here on the beach or on the West End. It could exist, but I just haven't heard of it, and I don't know. I do know many small and large hotels that the owners aren't in operations. They have a team, GM, etc., that manages their hotels. So it's possible. It's very, very possible, and we see it, and that's what gives us a lot of confidence, is that we can do it, because we see that other properties are doing it that are around the same size, some smaller, some larger. So it's possible. Inga Baby says, Throp, it sounds like a lot of our people don't want to work. I don't know. It seems something's going on for sure. Something is going on. I don't know exactly what it is. Can't put my finger on it, but it's difficult to get people to work, right now. Chris says, it sounds like a contradiction. We hear no opportunities for young people. So when I talked about this yesterday, I'm going to get into that in a few. And at the presentation I was at yesterday in Montego Bay, there's no opportunities for young people. They're saying like college graduates, an example that was given yesterday is like somebody graduates from UE with a chemical engineering degree. Where are they going to work? I have no idea in Jamaica. I have no clue. I couldn't point them in the direction. But if you are looking for a hospitality job, yeah, for sure. It could be more, manual, labor intensive jobs that are not being looked sought after. I could tell you, I forget, I was watching this report about this guy that was a seamstress. This was on, I believe it was TVJ, that he was a seamstress and he was doing all the school uniforms for the kids. And he was telling the reporter, it's been difficult to find an apprentice that's going to take over his position because young people you can't find a young person to come in and take over his job, and he's looking to retire soon. So who's going to take over his job to make these uniforms the next school year? And I believe he's looking to retire this year or next year, sometime soon. And so that I've heard the same thing in farming and agriculture as well, is that it's been hard to get young farmers into the industry. And they were saying it's like, who's going to take over? How are we going to pass this baton on to the next generation and to take this over? So it's across multiple industries is what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing in terms of getting young people to come in. And it's so important, the succession planning of our different industries, because, there are going to be outsiders who are not from Jamaica who see these opportunities and see the need, and they're going to come in and they're going to fill those gaps. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Ingrid Baby 51. Thank you very, very much for the donation. It means a ton. Thank you all. This is amazing. This is so amazing. Thank you, Susan. Thank you very much for the donation. You guys are too kind, too kind. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Susan, for the donation. Thank you. I'm just seeing your comment there asking, how do you donate? Thank you very much. Kathy chiming in from Baltimore. Thanks for hopping on. Synthwave Pro, the management company looking to manage your hotel is not like us Jamaicans. I know Panama City well, and the people that run it never sell the family business, have kids if needed, and pass it down. Yeah, there's no plans to sell. I mean, unless you're making an offer that we can't say no to. But I remember talking to another hotelier, small hotelier down the road, and she was telling me, she's like, no matter what you do, and this I can tell you, it was Gail Jackson Brooks from Treehouse, and she was telling me, she's like, no matter what you guys do, don't you ever sell, because once you sell, you'll never ever be able to afford to buy it back. And this was like 5-7 years ago. I remember she's telling me this, and definitely always remember that advice and have no plans, because she's absolutely right. This is I mean, we're so blessed to have this, me and my brothers, as far as being able to manage it, and as far as having an asset and being able to build from this is huge. Can't thank our Father enough for the opportunity, and only hope that we're making him proud with what we're doing and how we're growing the business. And this is definitely something that we want to be able to pass on to our kids and our kids' etc. Great point, Synthwave. Chris PW says, Synthwave Paul, I know of many businesses that do not do transitions to their kids and all that foundational work lost. Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Again, I keep referencing this this conference that I went to yesterday, and I'll get into it shortly. And one of the questions that they asked, somebody asked from the audience, was about, am I getting this right? We were basically talking about brain drain, and then also, right. So kids who grew up here in Jamaica, going to up north or to Europe for school and not coming back. And that is a story that, like, I've seen here in Negril, multiple times, multiple situations, kids who are I'm not a kid, but kids who are my age, and they decided not to come back and join the family business down here. And that is, that's tough. That's tough. Because because of the potential and because of what this means to families. But then I don't know where or how that's done on scale, right? In terms of like doing succession planning, like, and making it part of the day-to-day dialogue of a family and of a family's business. I went to, and I mentioned this before, I went to during my MBA program. I see you guys making all these donations. Thank you so much. I'm going to thank everybody in a second when I get down there. I just want to continue to make this point. During my MBA program in 2010, I took a family business course on succession planning. And me, my brothers, and my dad, we were already talking about making this happen, and our dad retiring and me and my brothers taking over the property. And I was lucky enough to be taking this course, and it was an immersive course in that my brothers and my dad came up from Jamaica to Boston, where I was in school, and we had this weekend together, and we took this course together. And the course itself was amazing. I learned so much about the process and experience that we were about to be going through within a few months in terms of the transition from one generation to another in our family. But what I really took away from that conference is all the other families that were at the course, I should say, but all the other families that took this course with me. And they were my classmates, and they brought up their sisters, their brothers, their mothers, their fathers, and they were all part of this family business course. And we all interacted with each other, did different assignments. They separated the parents from the kids. We did assignments together, and we spent this whole weekend together to take this course. What I was so impressed by was the Latin American families. They were so on it. It was just so amazing to understand how organized they were as a family and as companies. And many of them, this was the 5th, 6th succession that was happening within their families. Some of them, this was the first, like it was for me, my brothers, and my dad. It was our first time. And this was it was new process for us. It was a very new process. We never did this before, but in my mind, I was also thinking is that I'm going to have to do this for my kids as well when that time comes in 20, 30 years from now, whenever that happens. But I remember having the presence of mind because of my classmates and seeing that they've done this 5, 6, 7 generations strong, and seeing them go through this. And many of them were so mature in their approach to this because they've done this already. They have all these corporate governance rules. They have constitutions. They have covenants as to what and how you would be allowed to come into the family business. Just because you have the same last name doesn't mean you're automatically invited into the family business. You have to have a certain level of education, a certain level of experience outside of the family business. And every family / company had their different rules set out. And again, it was just extremely amazing to see how mature that market was, and how mature, not even that market, but that part of the world is in terms of their approach to family business, their approach to succession planning, and how seriously they took this. And boy, can we take a feather out their cap. Boy, can we learn a little bit from them. And I think this is something that we need to bring here to Jamaica. And I see in not just hospitality, not just hotels, but I talk to other peers of mine who are in different industries, who live here in Jamaica, who are in family businesses. And I'm generalizing here, of course, but there are a lot of family business here in Jamaica where the parents are, in their 60s, 70s, 80s even, and they're still running and operating their business and not having handed over the keys, so to speak, to the children, or at least there isn't some sort of transitionary process where it's slowly being let go. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It happened with us. It happened with us. My dad let the business go to us at a time where he thought he was ready, and that we were ready to take over the business, and he let it go cold turkey, no strings attached, so to speak. And we had our teething moments. To trust me, it wasn't nowhere near as easy as I'm making it sound. It was a very, very rough transition for both parties, but we grew individually and we grew collectively as a family with that. But my point being here is that there are many Jamaican, and I feel like it's just part of the Jamaican culture of just like always working. Like we just work. I don't know. And it's just, maybe they've been working their whole life and they don't know what to do. I can tell you myself, like, I don't imagine myself retiring, just sitting around doing nothing all day when I get up there in age. And that could just be part of the Jamaican in me, right? And just kind of working till whenever. But I do have the presence of mind that to know the importance and understand the importance of being able to hand over the business at a certain time to my kids. And my point here is that I do think that it should be more part of the Jamaican way of doing business, of succession planning and handing businesses over to the next generation sooner rather than later, and not hanging on to it to the point where you just you can't move around anymore. At least just that's just my opinion. But I think because it's not only like good for the business itself, but to me it's good. It's great for the economy of Jamaica, because the younger generation, they're going to bring new ideas, they're going to bring new energy, they're going to bring a different perspective, and hopefully with the right education and experience, and of course being raised to help succeed and further that business, that it would allow the business to grow, and they are going to be able to pass it on to future generations. Oh, that was a long one. Sorry. Thank you, Susan, so much again for the donation. This is great. This is amazing. Thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you, Shayna Love Coaching. Everybody is in the giving mood today. I do appreciate it to the max. Thank you guys so much. Wow, we got more coming down here. Crispy W, thank you very much. Thank you so much. And you ask, can you provide some of the investment answers you got that we asked? Also, can you tell me, of course, yeah, I can tell you, no problem. My dad has a business in JA. Is your dad, do you plan on taking it over, Chris, the business? And if you don't mind sharing, what kind of business is it? And yeah, I will answer. Let me see if I can remember. I have the questions that you guys asked yesterday. All right, so I'm going to do a little rapid fire. If you want to get a little deeper into it, just please stop me and we can go through it. So Shayna Love Coaching had asked, is there any advice that you would give for beginner traders? And I'm please, I'm paraphrasing, don't hold me to this, but basically, if I remember correctly, it was to, what did she say? She started from the perspective of funding the account. So this might answer future questions I'm going to bring up in a second. So just for everybody's for context, I had a sit down, a podcast that I recorded yesterday with NCB Wealth Management Manager, and that was yesterday morning. And we talked about a whole different bunch of things, but then also I asked the community a couple of days ago if they had any questions for a finance expert and what they wanted to know. And these are the questions that were asked, and I'm going to just go off of memory to try to answer them from the conversation that we had yesterday. So don't hold me to this. I'm going off of memory. And of course, I am paraphrasing as best I can remember from the conversation that we had yesterday, myself and Cleo. So back to the question Channel of Coaching had asked, is there any advice that we give for beginner traders? And if I remember correctly, she answered it from the perspective of like opening an account. So if you don't live here in Jamaica, the first thing is to open up I forget the name of it, but like a J something account, which is the stock exchange account, and you can open that through NCB, and you can fund that account via wire transfer. If you have an NCB account already, you can transfer from the NCB account to the stock trading account, and that's how you fund your account. And she recommended starting investing on a regular basis. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. So investing, maybe it's a small amount, like on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, but doing it regularly. How you doing? Doing it regularly, and just doing it week after week, month after month. Next question. Let's go to Chris' question. So Chris asks, is there derivative trading? There is not derivative trading. You also asked about any structured trades or OTC. I didn't know the context of that, and neither did Cleo. And we couldn't figure that one out and what you meant, so we kind of brushed over that one. Any data providers on firms listed on the exchange? Yes, there are, and she had named them. I don't remember what the names of them off the top of my head. Is there a minimum trade size? Yes, the minimum trade size is 1 share. It could be 1 share of anything. It could be 1 share of a share that costs $1. So that is the minimum trade size. No capital gains tax, but is there a transfer tax? Yeah, there is a transfer tax if you're going from one account to another. I don't remember what that is. There is also, she mentioned that there is a tax on dividends. So there's a 15% tax on dividends. And I know in the States, you can do the automation of reinvestment of dividends so that it doesn't count towards your capital gains. They don't have that here. So the dividends are automatically dispersed to you. So if you make $100, you got to pay $15 in tax on those dividends. Do you have to be a citizen to trade? Chris asked. No, you do not. Anybody in the world can invest and trade on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Also, with that, there is a Jamaica Stock Exchange funding your account, so you can make your trades yourself. And I think I mistakenly didn't realize that it's no longer the case that you have to go through a broker, and it's actually encouraged that you do your own trades. So I asked about the cost of doing trades. So every trade is, if you do it yourself through the app, it's between 0.5 and 0.75% per trade, if I'm not mistaken. And again, don't hold me to these exact numbers. However, if you want to do a trade through a broker, I think you're looking at about 2.7% for every trade. So that's if you pick up the phone and you call your broker and you want to do this trade, or if you're sending an email and you're asking them to do this trade, you're looking at about 2.5%, which is crazy when you compare to doing it yourself. I also asked about the convenience, or I should say the advantage of going with, say, a brokerage like NCB Capital Markets. And the one thing is the experience of these wealth managers and these financial advisors, is they understand these companies. And so they all, you have access to all, I haven't looked at it myself, but I would imagine all the same type of technical tools that you would, and historical data that you would have access to, say, in the United States. And maybe there are some limitations, I'm not sure, but I would say from a basic perspective, you have a lot of historical data that you can use, and also financial technical data that you can use to make your decisions on investing and on trading. And the advantage to having a broker or going with NCB is that you have the knowledge and information, because they have so many technocrats within their system. And they have so many of these financial experts. They are researching and know these companies better than anybody else. They amalgamate all this data and all this information, both quantitative and qualitative data, and then they make recommendations. So they send out a weekly email on their recommendations for different stocks, etc. And then on top of that, they put together this email, and then on top of that, you get this weekly email, and then you can also call your broker for advice and for information as well. So, those are kind of three major resources that you have. You have the weekly emails, which will also be on the website. You have your own whatever research that you want to do if you're financially technically inclined to do so. And then you have the guidance of a physical human being, a physical broker that you can ask and go through for financial advice, who is very informed, well informed on the markets and what's happening. And your last question, Chris, was why do you need a broker when you can place trades directly? So I hope that answers your question, that question directly. Moving on. So I think I answered this question. JB asked how to invest in the JSE as a diasporan / non-citizen. Very easy. You can just, fund your account. There's a form that you have to fill out. Basically, it's very easy. Like, you literally can get set up that day, especially if you have an NCB account already and you don't need a wire transfer. It's very easy. You can do it today, and you can fund your account. That's probably what would take the longest. So anybody can do it. Natural Bay says, if I paid in US dollars, is it best to have a bank account in Jamaica or just keep my US bank account? I would say, I don't think she answered this question directly, but just from the conversation, I would say maybe you need to fund your account from your US account, maybe that one time, cool. But you definitely want to have a Jamaican NCB account or an NCB account, because there are also stocks that you can invest in US dollars that is available. I don't know the names of them, but I know that that's available for you to do. But I think especially like just moving money, receiving dividends, you're going to want to have an account here in Jamaica, whether that's US or Jamaican or both. I think that's the best thing. That's what I would do in this situation. If I was living abroad, I would want to have two different accounts, here, Jamaican and US, and to be able to move money between those accounts, especially if I'm, trading and receiving dividends, etc. AP asked, long-time follower, first-time commenter, question: Are there special JSE investment programs for Jamaican diaspora? Until now, as a Jamaican-born American citizen, I have not considered investing in my home country stock market. So this is a new territory for me. Thank you. So the way that question was answered was, of course, very bullish on the Jamaican Stock Exchange. And we talked about this before. Jamaica Stock Exchange has been the top performing stock exchange in the entire world for the last 5 years. And we spoke to some specific company. We spoke to IPOs. So there were 3 companies that IPO'd this year that already made over 100%. And I think it might have been one that's 300%, but there were 3 that went over 100% that we spoke about. And these are the sort of opportunities that we want to get. I would encourage people to get involved with. And Cleo also gave me an example of one of her clients who was working in the United States. I forget what company, and she was working in New York, and they were going over the pension plan and also what companies and exchanges that the pension was going to be investing in. And the Jamaica Stock Exchange was one of those investments that this New York-based company was going to be investing in. And she was like, if my company that I'm working for is investing in the Jamaica Stock Exchange, why shouldn't I be investing in there? And that's how she got in contact with Cleo. So long story short here is that it's a great market to invest in. The history is there. And not to say that, and we kept saying this, and we're not saying that the history is going to provide us with knowledge and this crystal ball as to what's going to happen in the future. We're not promising anything like that, but it's been doing extremely well, and there are many indications to show that the Jamaica Stock Exchange is still a very good exchange to invest in. I think those were all the questions. Thank you for the opportunity, Chris, for asking that. Let me see. I see you have a few questions here. I want to see if anything is relevant. Chris asks, I understand you have to fund a broker account before you can do your own trades. Yep. Did you manage to check out the CBX channel? No. Can you send that? I only saw the launch of it. If you can put that in the chat here, Chris, I would appreciate it. And Chris says, yes, I found out that we can participate in IPOs. You can't do that in the US or UK. And then also with the IPOs, there's like a flat fee. There's a huge advantage of investing in IPOs that, I had mentioned, like making your own trades is 0.5 to 0.75% of trading. IPOs, it's a flat fee of like $2 or something like that. So it's a huge opportunity to invest heavily if you want, but to invest with very, very low fees. And that's all IPOs right across the board. Again, thank you, Chris. Chris PW says, okay, I'm taking that one out of context. I'll go back up. Thank you again for that opportunity, Chris. Metho Nelson, thank you again. Thank you for another donation so much. Thank you so much, Metho. Final one, how about brand franchising? Instead of investing years into building a brand, how about joining a big global brand which would drive traffic in your hotel? These big brands are well tested. Good question. So the hotel, the brand that was looking to partner with us is, I don't want to say it necessarily. I'll just say it's a well-established hostel brand globally, very, very well established. So they have the name, they have the clientele that have stayed with them at different. I would say this is not necessarily your traditional hostel. I think a little bit higher end, but also mid to low tier market attributes to attract that demographic, but very, 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 very well established. So that's kind of going back to the personal example that I gave earlier about an opportunity of working with an outside company. So I guess we can talk about this publicly. So let's take Sandals, for example. And so Sandals, obviously a very proud Jamaican company. I'm proud, I don't own the company or have anything to do with it, but the fact that this hotel chain is a family-owned private company that born and bred here in Jamaica and is all over the Caribbean and has, I don't know how many hotels, in the Caribbean, but it's essentially the goal, however you feel about all inclusives, but essentially it's the gold standard for all inclusive vacations. I think they're constantly winning the World Travel Awards, that was recently. And anyway, they opened up a hotel in Kingston. Is everybody familiar with the AC Hotel? It's an AC Marriott hotel. Well-established brand. And at first, I heard about it before it was built, and I was like, man, why are they doing this? Why wouldn't they make it a Sandals hotel or another branch, blah, 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 blah. And to me, and I didn't talk to, Adam or anything like that, but to me, it's just it's an established business hotel. And then also I do understand in a limited way, the Kingston hotel market and also the need for inventory, especially at the time, like because there was so much happening, or continues to be so much happening in Kingston and in Jamaica, and there's a lot of business travelers that are going to Kingston, and and I remember talking to others hoteliers in Kingston who are they're small hotels, and they were just telling me they're always full because of all the and I'm talking about during some of the worst months of the year for business in the hospitality industry, the Septembers, the Octobers, the Junes. Those are the three worst months in the hotel business, and they were all running high occupancy during this time. This is a few years ago, and now you're seeing like a lot more hotels come on stream and come to the table, and AC Marriott being one of them. And my point is like, I'm not against it. It obviously works. It's a beautiful hotel, like absolutely beautiful, beautiful hotel. I've never stayed there, but let me see if I can bring it up. I've never stayed there, but I flew my drone there. Shouldn't say that. It was for the Kingston series. I didn't get too close, but it's a very, very nice hotel. And, you know, obviously they have the means to, you know, do their own thing, build it the way they want. But Marriott is like a global brand that everybody knows. I don't know how the management deal worked out or anything like that, but this is a very, very strong brand. I will bring this up 1 second here, take down your comment. So this is AC Marriott in Kingston. Beautiful, beautiful lobby. I think I've done 2 meetings here in Kingston. I've never seen the rooms personally, but they look really, really nice. I like looking at hotel pictures, just being in the business, and then also looking at their concepts. That's their bar. But you get the idea. There's also, I believe, a Marriott residence in Kingston as well. So we got a couple of those. There's also the Holiday Inn in Montego Bay in Iron Shore. That's owned by the Hendricks family. And, you know, that's another example. Now, would that work for a small property here? I'm not sure. Like I'm talking about like these are much larger hotels than the 60-room hotel here, Travelers. Would that work for us? I'm not sure. Maybe, you know, to me, it would have to be a brand that has that's already doing that. You know, there have been examples of large hotels trying to get into the small hotel business, and it's not easy. It's not the same thing, you know, definitely not the same thing. So in my thinking too, I mean, I guess you're thinking about maybe doing this yourself. Of course, building a brand takes years, decades, I would even say. You know, we've been in this business for a couple of decades, and it takes time to build that brand. It takes purposefulness. It takes strategy. It takes conviction for sure. But, you know, at least at the end of the day, it's yours and something that you created. You know, and perhaps, and you don't necessarily need to do it by yourself either. If you have the means, I would say you could kind of scale that up / accelerate that process by working with consultants. That was something that at least I was considering at some time, just couldn't afford it at the time, but I know they would help with helping us accelerate the process. We're working with a few consultants here on the upgrading and forward movement of Travelers, you know, but it took a long time for us to get into the position to afford that financially. But we understand and appreciate that kind of gives a little bit of extra juice to the process of moving forward. And they may be experts in a particular field or area that we are not, or may take a long time for us to get really good at. So I hope that I hope that helps. And I would also, you had mentioned that this brand would be about joining a global brand that would drive traffic to your hotel. I would say, speaking of like skill sets, like that's one of the strongest skill sets that we have, that me and my brothers have bring to the table, is traffic. And it's bringing traffic here, and it's understanding technology and understanding hospitality / hotel technology. And I would say, especially like before Wingate got into the business, me and my brother Winfield, we were going to like they had these Jamaica, it's called JPEX, Jamaica Product Exchange. And it's this yearly annual event for the hospitality industry in Jamaica, where we attract different travel agents and different experts from the hospitality industry globally to Jamaica. And they come here and they try to sell Jamaica. And this was this must have been 07, 08. And we had our booth, we had our little Travel Beach Resort booth. This is the first time that we're doing it. We had no idea what we were doing. Just terrible. Me and my brother were talking about this the other day. And so we go to the JPEX, it's in Montego Bay, and we have like a banner. I don't even think we had a banner up. We had a tablecloth, we had some pens, we had some brochures. We're like, all right, we're ready. And then we come here, and then like we see like our competitors, our contemporaries, and our peers, and like their booths are crazy, like beautiful. They have like nice, comfortable chairs. We got the plastic chairs that the convention expo had given us. They had labeled, branded tablecloths. Like they had screens with slideshows and videos. So we just learned a lot about expos in general. They had giveaways, but the main thing that we were at the time, I would say this was a transition phase between traditional travel agents to online travel agents. And what at the time we understood that we needed a relationship with a wholesale travel agent. So a wholesale travel agent basically sells your property in bulks to other travel agents. And that was the key, I would say, early 2000s going back to like the 70s, the 80s, these wholesalers, and you as a hotel, you needed to get with one of these, and we never had that relationship. And it was just the way we looked at it, it was like an old boys club. And every wholesaler that we went to, they're like, I'm sorry, we have our quota for how many hotels of your size in Jamaica, in Negril, that we're working with. And we couldn't get that relationship. And we just never did. We just never, we do now, but for years, especially at that point, we could not get the opportunity to work with them. Like nobody even wanted to talk to us, regardless of we were a competitive hotel or not. And at that time, you had Expedia coming out, you had Orbitz coming out. And so to us, this was the opportunity. We were fresh out of college. We knew technology. And so especially, I wouldn't even say me, I would say my brother, he learned about the marketing in the age of the online travel agent. And so we just kept learning about it. We kept also developing, and we realized that these technology companies that we're launching, they're technology company, but they're behind these technology companies are also people. And so the important thing it's also important. Hospitality, it's a people's business. Even on the technology side, it's a people's business. So we also looked at it as a way of learning from these representatives of these companies, and we learned so much from them from going to these expos. And because we were able to establish these relationships over the years and then also learn this technology, we excelled. And so with some of our competitors who were a little bit older, they were still managing their properties, whatever. We were in a position to be young and understanding technology, and we were able to close that gap and use that to our advantage. And things were moving into that direction. And so we became very good at that. We became very good at online marketing. We became very good, especially with social media and marketing. And we, because we were forced to. Nobody wanted. None of these wholesale travel agents wanted a relationship with us. So we had to do what we had to do, and that paid off. And now, because of that, we do well. Thankfully, we do well. Even though, especially right now, like inventory in Negril is low, so there are a lot of other hotels are doing well, but. That's kind of one of the main reasons I think we were able to be put in the position that we are, is because of technology and because we kind of took that seriously. So my point is, to your question, Metho, is that I don't know if a brand, and this is speaking for me personally and our property here, like I don't know how much a brand could come in here and help to get, a better average occupancy that we're having now. It would be very, very hard for me to see. Maybe if I was starting a new hotel or something like that, i.e. the AC Kingston Hotel, maybe that could work. Maybe. All right, let's keep going with the comments here. Thanks again for the donation and the question, Metho Nelson. Peter Van Hen asks, my family business is suffering because of lack of transitioning. Yeah, it could be really tough. It could be really, really tough. I don't know who the gatekeeper of that is in your family, but man, the sooner that they can understand the importance of approaching that process and the importance to the family and to the business of having that, of having that experience of transitioning and of succession planning, man, the better is for your family for sure. Chris PW says he's in the restaurant business. Back in the day, he had Briggerton on Queens Drive, Mobay. Sorry, I know that's completely out of context. CK Bond 41 says, Throp, this person is misleading you. You should open a demo account and trade to build confidence. Why don't they advise you properly? This is what I mean about people in Jamaica. Do they have, I'll also say Cleo, she had mentioned, not demo account. Hold on, let me read your comment again. I totally went blank. Demo account, build your confidence. Okay, so the main thing, like I would say, she didn't necessarily say this outright, but I would say the connotation that I was getting, the sentiment that I was getting is that, this is more of a long-term thinking, especially the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And it's like, and I say this the same, especially young people, like I met young Jamaicans, young Americans too, like they want to get into day trading. And I was like, man, do you know how good you have to be a successful day trader? I mean, and it's day trading is not easy and it takes years to get good. And I know day traders, and like they are super, super smart, well informed, and they are on this market. And I think a lot of young people think, and I'm not saying this is what you're alluding to, CK. A lot of young people are looking for fast money quick, and they think day trading is the way to do it. But it's not as easy as it looks, not as cool as it looks, and having all these charts on different screens and on your computer. I mean, you can lose your shirt easily. Easily. I don't know if you remember this one kid, very, very sad situation. He was trading on margin on Robinhood, and trading on margin, and like they didn't have, I feel like there was some sort of error where they didn't have a limitation on margin, and he ended up losing like some crazy amount of money, like $2 million or something like that. And the kid, because he saw that he owed this money and he was in debt, kid ends up killing himself. And, there were people trying to hold Robinhood accountable for that because he thought he'd have to pay this $2 million back or whatever it is, and ended up taking his own life because of the pressure of it. And it's like one of these things that, again, I tell young people is like, man, be careful with this. Be careful with, trading options. Be careful with short sell. Like all of these things are like can be very financially dangerous routes if you don't know what you're doing. But I don't know if they have dummy accounts in Jamaica. I'm not sure. I know Yahoo does. That's what, when I was in school, that's what we had. We had Yahoo Finance. We opened up these dummy accounts and we just traded using the strategies that we were taught in class. with non-real money. Donna Bryce says, remember to hit that thumbs up, folks. Help Throp channel. Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. That would be really, really awesome if you could hit that thumbs up button. Oh, lots of comments here. Chris PW, you needed to have a TRN number for the trade on the exchange. That's correct. So that's also part of the paperwork. And you have to have a TRN number to start. And we discussed it before. Very easy to get. You can just go to the excuse me. You can just go to the Tax Administration of Jamaica website, and you can get your TRN number very quickly and easily. But thank you for that, Chris. Sherry says, "Oh, how I missed the beach! I was there in August. I can't wait to get back. Hope so too, Sherry." Chris PW says, I understand you have to fund a broker account before you can do your trades. Sorry, I think we're going backwards. We already got that. Yes, I already answered that. Inga Baby 51 says, I would love to stay at the AC Hotel in Kingston. From what I've seen, it looks beautiful. Yes, it definitely does. Diana Blake, Throp, keep up the good job you're doing. Thank you so much. I will. Fitzroy Williams says, nice hotel, lobby bar is great, night spot, also Starbucks right there. And the hotel, yeah, I forgot about that. The AC Hotel is a Starbucks in there. Amaru says, never heard of the Marriott till I came to live in the United States. Yep, very, very big hotel chain. Fitzroy Williams says, I did 3 nights at AC Hotel. Bring your J identification for a local rate. Didn't know that. Thank you, Fitzroy, for that. I will do that for sure. Yankee on purpose. Sorry, unique on purpose. They call me Yankee. No, don't worry about that. Absolutely. People need to realize when you build your own business, you have a tangible asset that you can grow, sell, pass on. When you leave a job, you leave with nothing. Good point. Good advice as well. Sherry L. Amore says, Throp, do you know any black female architects or draftsperson in Jamaica that you could refer? No, unfortunately, I do not. I don't know any female architects here or draftsperson. I'll ask around for you. Let me screenshot that. CK says, unique on purpose. You're absolutely right, but a lot of people don't realize that simple thing. Chris says, would you think a franchise model for travels would work? I kind of answered that already. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that would work. And I also would have to look into that. I know there's a lot of fees and stuff involved in it. And as I mentioned before, I don't know how much better a franchise could come in here and bring more business here, increase our average daily room rates, maintain what we have. I'm not sure. King Naldo, Throppers, are you ready to protest on Norman Manley Boulevard for us waiting on the Kingston Series 2 forever? Also, we want to see the lost drone footage too. All right, Naldo, you're right. I owe that forever. It's so bad. I have 3 more episodes that are just chilling and just finding the time. Dollar, they're asking about the Kingston series. Yeah. Oh man, got 3. I know, overdue. I have no excuse. And I'm not gonna lie to you here. We got ThropX that we're focusing on. You're maybe next month, hopefully after ThropX, but I can't even promise that. But it has to come out. It has to come out. We filmed it and everything, got completely distracted. This is embarrassing. Thank you, King Naldo, for bringing that up. Really appreciate it. Makes me feel great. But thank you for the donation. Thank you, Shane. I love coaching. Really appreciate it. Another one. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Coco says, hey, my 2 cents. Traveler's name and brand change is in order for this new branch of the tree. is in order for the new branch tree. Could be. We did. I mean, one thing that we did do is, our the official name is Travelers Beach Resort. So one thing that we did do is, as far as branding go, is we're going as Travelers. So we cut it down. The whole, instead of the Facebook, that sort of thing. So that's what we're kind of going with here. But continue. We'll continue. We have the next phase of after the renovations that we're making is also rebranding, because in many ways, I mean, we're still going to be the same. We still have to the core, and especially with our people, who we are, the essence of being a family run and also a family oriented hotel is super, super important to us. And, no matter how much we upgrade and no matter how much we invest, we're always going to be a family oriented and family focused hotel. Let's go. Jacent says, as a UK citizen of Jamaica parents, can I apply for a TRN? Yeah, even without that, anybody can apply for a TRN. You have to have one in order to do anything in this country. Open a bank account, start a business, invest in the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and need a TRN. It's essential. It's not even important. You have to have it. So you can do that. You can also do it online. If you go to do the Tax Administration Office of Jamaica website, you can do it there very quickly. I didn't do mine did I do mine online? I can't believe. No, I didn't do mine online. I actually walked in. This was like 16 years ago. Before this, that wasn't even possible when I first moved here. Happy Thanksgiving to all Jamaicans. Is today Thanksgiving? Jamaican Thanksgiving? I didn't know. All right. Man, we're gonna go in 2 hours. It's crazy. That was gone by quick. I want to throw up some pictures here. Let's see if I can. I just want to share some pictures from the events. Just want to quickly go over that from yesterday. One sec. Let's see if I can upload them. So I was lucky enough to be invited to, I talked about this on Thursday, to, Heroes Day. Oh yeah, this is Heroes Day. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know what, oh my God, my computer is dying. We need to figure this out. Hold on, I didn't realize that I'm not getting power to my computer. Let me just close a bunch of things here because we are going to get cut off soon. Sorry, everyone. Just want to make sure we have enough power. Okay, we should be good. Hopefully we can get another, maybe another half hour. I don't know why we're not getting power. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Just sense that I'm drowning in envy of the beach background. Sorry about that. Where was I going? Oh yeah, pictures. Okay. So yesterday I was invited to to be a speaker, panelist speaker at the Delta Sigma Theta retreat, Jamaica chapter retreat. And it was held at the Hilton Rose Hall? Yeah, Hilton Rose Hall. Beautiful, beautiful hotel. And I basically was talking about stuff that we just talk about here. Let me see if I could bring up this was the ballroom that they had it in. and I was on a panel with other people who live here, do business here. I was on the panel. Also, St. Alban Clark. Do I have a picture with him on here? I don't. He was there as well, the realtor that I did a podcast with a couple of weeks ago. And we were just talking about investing and also moving to Jamaica. Many of the subjects that we talk about and address here on the live streams. So nothing new in this sense. I met a bunch of subscribers, which was awesome. I wasn't expecting that. So a bunch of subscribers were there, and they were surprised to see me there. So it was always cool. Always nice to meet subscribers. And yeah, these are just a couple of pictures here. Gail, she's the one who actually invited me and got me to be on the panel. And these are some folks from Long Island, from New York, and yeah, these are them. It was very nice to meet them. And yeah, just wanted to kind of give everybody a bit of an update on that, and doing my best to represent Jamaica and moving here and what it's like to live here, that sort of thing. That was basically the essence of at least my portion of the panel, and I learned a lot of things there as well. And it's just kind of cool we obviously know what we're talking about in a sense here, but and in terms of our experiences and my experiences and how me sharing my experiences, but it was also cool to get confirmation, affirmation, if you will, of people having same and similar experiences, and also having same and similar mindsets and approaches to living here. We talk very much about the conveniences and also the inconveniences of living here and being here. And many people in the audience are considering moving to Jamaica. And it's just so awesome. I think that so many people are thinking about this, and I didn't know that this event existed, and I didn't know that this panel was going to be there, obviously, until I was invited and preparing for it. But the fact that we had a whole room of people that were looking to invest in Jamaica and to kind of be a part of what's happening and what's moving forward, Jamaica moving forward, I should say. It was pretty awesome to see, and getting some very, very good questions as well. So that's it. Just wanted to share and bring everybody up to date with that. I see people hanging out, trying to help out Ocean. I think that's it. Oh, ThropX. Oh, so let's quickly go through ThropX. We put out the email. Was it Friday or Thursday? Yeah. Everybody got the email on Thursday, or I think it was Friday morning. I can't remember, about the announcement of the 3 panelists, which is Dawn Gray, Emma Watson, and Dennis Hawthorne, which we're very excited to be having. And the plans are continuing to move forward, and getting closer and closer day by day. And no new announcements this yet. There's more. Obviously we'll have the newsletter, and we'll announce some more speakers this week. And hopefully this week we can get out the final itinerary of the breakdown of the weekend. I'm hoping that because one thing, just being transparent about this, it's we got to line up the itinerary to the availability of the speakers. And Friday is a business day for people. Obviously, people who are coming here, they're coming here specifically for this conference, but many of the people who are coming on are working professionals. So, Saturday is looking like the main day from a technical perspective, because people aren't working. Everybody's volunteering their time to be panelists. And so I have to be respectful of that and understanding of that. So that's the main reason why the final itinerary hasn't been put out, and then also making sure that we line up panelists together in order to make it work. So that's coming up, I would say. Again, this Thursday or next Thursday, the very, very latest. All right. Okay, so last few minutes here as we start to wrap up. I do have a little announcement. So I don't know if anybody is into this. This doesn't really have to do with moving to Jamaica or living here and investing here, but just kind of want everybody to know. So I did this show over the summer. I did this dating show in July. It was filmed on BT. Couldn't say anything before. I alluded to it a few times that I had a little announcement kind of thing, and I did something that was definitely outside of my wheelhouse. And it's going to be airing. It's a 8-series television show that's going to be airing on BET on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you have BET, I'm going to be on it. I don't know if I'm going to be in the first episode, but I do believe I'm going to at least be in the subsequent episodes. And it's going to be every Wednesday at 10 p.m. on BET. So that's going to be starting next on Wednesday for 8 weeks. And this is going to be... Do I have anything else to say on it? I don't know. It was. I guess I can't. I don't want to, let too much out. But it was a fun experience. Obviously, completely outside of what I would normally do, but I enjoyed it. It was very nerve-wracking to actually make the decision to go. I had a lot going on with the channel, with the business, and it was stressful, but it was fun. The experience itself was unlike anything that I've ever done before in my life. And also just from like a media production perspective, like it was just kind of cool to be not only behind the scenes, but also part of the scenes. And I learned just so much through observation and to begin with, and then kind of being in this, I guess, Hollywood kind of scene. It was kind of crazy, but it should be fun. The name of the show is After Happily Ever After, and it's I'll send you. Hold on, let's see if we could put a link here. 1 second. And this is one of the trailers. There's a couple of trailers. I'm in one of the trailers, but I don't think it's in this one that I'm about to share. 1 second here. So this is on Instagram. I'm not seeing any on. Sorry if you don't have Instagram. I'm not seeing any on YouTube or anything like that. So that's actually with one of my castmates, Jeremy. You guys might recognize who he is almost probably immediately. Yeah, I know, Shayna. It's going to be interesting for sure. It's going to be, I don't know. This is going to be so weird. Seeing myself on there, and then two, you kind of know what happens. And it's, I don't know, we'll see how I'm portrayed, and then also how they develop the storylines. It should be fun. Should be very, very fun. We'll be watching. Okay, cool. Hold on. Okay, Candice just sent me one on YouTube. 1 sec. All right, this one is on YouTube. If you don't have a Instagram account, so I'll send that here. I would say we could watch it together, but you can't hear the sound. What fun is that? At least I don't know how to like play the sound using this medium, but I'll throw it up there anyway. You can just watch it while I talk. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, this is the trailer. Obviously you can't hear it, but Bow Wow is the host. And yeah, the concept behind it is like 7 couples get together in the house, and the exes of the couples choose the person that they want to date for them, if that makes any sense. But if you watch the trailer, you'll get a very clear idea of the concept. Yeah, that's it. All right, so is it like Married at First Sight? I don't know what Married at First Sight is, but it definitely, nobody got married at first sight. That I like when you meet somebody, that didn't happen. So AP ask, were you the ex or the participant? I was a participant, so I was I was a single. I was the one that was part of the dating pool that the ex was choosing, that I was being chosen for from the pool, that sort of thing. So that's to give you an idea. Dating reality show always interesting and have drama at times. Yep, could. Why did I go on the show? Looking for. I thought it was I thought it was a good opportunity to meet somebody. Like I thought that was great, and obviously being a single person, like that was one. I was like, man, this could be cool. And then 2 was just like I knew it was going to be an experience like any other, and like I said before, it took me a lot of convincing, like tons and tons of convincing, for me to go on the show, because I'd never done anything like this before, and just just to really put yourself out there. And I knew like I had to have a level of vulnerability and transparency that I had to convince myself to become comfortable with, and it was okay. And it was, like I said, it was a fun experience, and I enjoyed it. Scotty Beamer says, "Ooh la la." Oh man. Synthwave Pro says, looks like a show trying to compete with Owns Ready for Love. That's great, Throp. Thank you. Like I said, it was fun, but I thought it was important. I want to let you all know about it, and I don't want Wednesday to come and you be like, "What? You saw this and you were on this and you didn't tell me." So, just letting everybody know. So that's the last announcement that I have, and hopefully you guys can tune in and see, and then we can talk about the first episode on Thursday. I guess I don't know if I'm going to be in the first episode, but maybe later episode or episodes I will be in. I'm not sure. You can do a watch party as it premieres. Yeah, maybe. I was thinking about going to LA for the premiere. The premiere is going to be in LA on Wednesday, but I don't think I'm going to be making that. What's up, Drew? Okay, we're back. You guys want to do a watch party? Okay, we'll think about it. We'll think about doing a watch party. Yeah, maybe we could do that. That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun. How did I get to know? They actually, a casting agent actually reached out to me. That's which was like, even just like getting that message, I was like, my heart was pounding. I was like, I don't know. Ingrid says, all right, get your Hollywood on. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Dwayne Mattis says, Throp, you said that education would solve a lot of Jamaica's problems. Does Jamaica have an economy to support this educational class? All right, we'll get into that in a second. I just want to get all the reality TV show questions and comments out the way, and I'll come back. Dwayne, battery's running out, but we will definitely get to your question. Should go live on Wednesday. Yeah, I definitely think I probably will, especially if I don't go to LA. I will definitely do a live with everybody, which would be fun. All right, we can do that. All right. If I don't go to the premiere, we're gonna go live together. Okay. Watch party is a must. Oh, battery's going low. You don't need to travel to America to meet somebody. You act like I haven't been trying. You act like I haven't been trying. It's not easy. It's not easy here, and even especially in Negril. Negril is like a small little beach town, and it's hard to meet. The likelihood, like now, from a percentage and even a sheer numbers perspective, when you look at the likelihood of meeting a compatible companion in such a small town, it's not saying it's impossible, but it's hard. Maybe so. Maybe if I was in Kingston, I'm for sure. People tell me that all the time, that I would definitely be able to meet a good companion, a compatible person in Kingston, but not so much here in Negril. It's a very, I'll just say, it's not that I haven't tried. Okay, everybody wants the watch party. Scotty Beamer says, I was on Hinge dating app for a week and a half this summer, so I know how intimidating these things are. Yep, did that too. Took that. Yeah, I don't have I took down my Hinge account, but it's not easy. Even in New York, it's definitely not easy. Definitely not easy trying to meet somebody, especially in this day and age. Yeah, expectations, etc. Blah blah blah. We can get into that some other time. The challenges of modern dating. So I don't, I would also say, I say the challenges that I have with dating here in Negril. I hear people say this all the time about dating in New York. Thought my computer died. We're under 10% battery here, FYI. So we might be just abruptly closing off our signing off. Shane of Coaching says a lot of YouTube channel to do a watch party of a certain shows. So since you are a participant, I think you'll avoid a copyright strike. Nah, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think, like, as you guys say, watch party, I think the way we would do it is like everybody watch it on their own, and then like we kind of interact with each other as the show itself develops. That's what I'm thinking. I don't necessarily think I can put it on my channel. And if I can do that, I guess we could. But I guess we could, because I'm not trying to. I wouldn't try to monetize that. It's not my IP, obviously, and I wouldn't. It's just for us kind of having fun. All right, we'll do the live. We'll do, as long as I don't go to the premiere. Shane of Coaching says we'll have our popcorn and drinks for the premiere. Awesome. Seema on the Move says, yes, everyone watch on their own device and then chat during the commercials. Okay, that works. Okay. All right, we'll do that. And I will post in my, I'll post on the community tab on Wednesday, before Wednesday. So about the live stream. Okay. Let's get up to Dwayne Mattis. He asked, Throp, you said the education would solve a lot of Jamaica's problems. Does Jamaica have an economy to support this educated class? And when you say support this educated class, do you mean like opportunities, job opportunities? Given what's been happening recently, it doesn't seem so. Like I would say, if like we had a bunch of college educated, tens of thousands of educated people coming out of college right now, or we double or triple the amount of college educated young people tomorrow, would the opportunities exist for them to get jobs? I'll answer it that way. No, right now, no, I would say, because you're seeing a lot of young people, when we talk about the drain brain, who are leaving Jamaica and going abroad for opportunities. But however, I think if you look at education over, instead of a short term, if you look at over like a 20-year span, and if you have this focus of investing in young education, I'm talking about from babies, pre-K into basic school and then going on up, then you have this like long lead time that you're year after year, you're churning out these highly educated individuals. And then hopefully we as a generation now, who are the working generation, that we are creating a world and an economy and community that is offering such certain types of opportunity. And then a lot of my hope too is like we as a country, we will really start focusing on entrepreneurship, which I think is already happening. And this could be traditional entrepreneurship in brick and mortar businesses, but we're in the digital age. Somebody asked me yesterday at the session that I was in about coding and programming and starting a tech company, and whether or not it was Jamaica is a good place to do that from technology infrastructure perspective. And I answered in the affirmative. I definitely think so. I definitely think Jamaica has that. But on the flip side of that coin, Jamaica is not churning out software engineers that, you know, Google or Facebook or so-and-so is coming to choose. Like, at least not that I know of. We're not known for that. I think we can be. I think coding can be something that is very much a part of a basic to adolescence education, just like we were talking about financial literacy should be a part of that. These are the type of thinking in education curriculum that will need, I think it has to become part of the curriculum if we're going to be advancing and really giving the educational opportunities to our young people. And I'll answer the question in a third way. If you're asking, can the economy support this in terms of investing in education? I'm not sure. I can't necessarily speak to that. I don't know how the finances are being allocated. I'm not sure. I feel that it should be a priority, and it should be something that we're investing in like immediately, because this is such a long-term play. And I was saying, I think whenever it was a few lives ago, that Jamaica, that political leadership will have to take a hit for planning and investing in education in Jamaica, because it's long-term. In a communicative way, let the people of Jamaica and us know that this is part of a long-term plan, because obviously we vote in the 5-year periods, and within those 5 years, if you don't do blah 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 blah, you're going to be voted out. So that's a double-edged sword of being a political leader, I'd say, especially the prime minister. Hope that answers your question. Ingrid B says, for sure in Kingston you can meet someone, but still be careful. Dating is very hard during this time, especially. I agree. Jacent says, dating in UK also sucks. There you go. I say dating in the modern age. Sorry, I'm just reading. I'm just reading CK Bond talking to Unique on purpose. Where are you based? Unique is cool, Naman. Okay. I'm seeing all this. All right, I'm gonna let y'all do your thing. Scotty Beamer says Negril is a traveler's town. People just passing through. Many of the native Negrilians. No, that's a right word, right terminology. I say aren't really traveled, and I can see the problem with the compatibility part. Dating in New York sucks. Yeah, so I didn't want to say what you said, but you said it, Scotty Beamer. That's exactly what it is. And it's just, and I guess I shouldn't be afraid to say it, is that when you think about compatibility, and I'm obviously speaking from my perspective, so I'm just watching the battery life on my computer. And then this is for anybody. That's not, I want to say my perspective. It's just like, when you have certain experiences in life and you meet different people from around the world, and you do different adventure. I consider myself to be like a very adventurous person, and I run marathons and train for marathons, and I get up at. I probably am not the easiest person to deal with in terms of my schedule and in terms of my passions as well. So it's and that's what when I talk about the sheer numbers and percentage of and the likelihood of meeting somebody in such a small pool of eligible daters. And you think Negril is they say a town of 25,000. You cut that in half with the male and female, then you probably cut that and maybe another half, or at least 2/3 with the age ranges. And then you get into the compatibility as it relates to different things and subject matters, hobbies that one may or may not be interested in. And it just like, could there be 5 people here? Like that sort of thing. Maybe. But good point. And yeah, New York, much larger pool, but then I also find that it is the expectations can vary widely, very, very, very widely. So it's not easy anywhere. And as we're here in UK, we're here in New York, I'm saying Negril. And so it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. And, for those of you that are married out there, congratulations. And the grass is not greener on the other side if you have any doubt at all. We're all, us here in the comments are trying to get to where you are at some point in time. Seema says, love connection going on in the chat. It looks like it. Yeah, CK Bond and Unique, exchange contact information. Let's make this happen. Kevin says getting his popcorn ready. Let's see. Oh man, this is funny. This is a funny chat here. Don't want to end, but my computer might have to we be dictating it. Ingrid B says, well, I'm off. Take care, everyone. I'm on the road enjoying the Sunday afternoon. Have fun. Blessings. Thank you for the info today. Throp investing is a must. One love. Thank you for joining, Ingrid. Appreciate it as always. Unique and Purpose says, Throp wants a woman to run marathons with him and love existential conversations. Him not find that in the grill. No, you definitely don't have to be a runner. Like, definitely not. I mean, that would be cool. But definitely not. There's no way they're going to find that in the grill. Not at all. Chris PW says, choose wisely. Good advice. Scotty Beamer says, I get my family is from a small, tiny town called K Valley in Hanover. Literally, the place is the same as it was when I was a baby. The people rarely move and mindset is vastly different. Yeah. Yep. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Donna Bryce says, my cousin and her husband met in an online dating app and happily married 20 years. Don't give up hope. Oh, wow. 20 years. I didn't know online dating was happening 20 years ago. I guess it was. I was in, obviously, not the way it is today for sure, but yeah, won't give up hope. Can't give up hope. Nobody give up hope. All right. I think we're gonna start wrapping up. Looking at Chris PW, Donna Bryce. Times have changed. I hear women want 6-figure man now. Oh no, we're not gonna. This could be a very. Who knows where this conversation can go with comments like that. All right. Yeah, I think I got all the comments. Okay, this was a fun way to end the live stream today. It's gonna be, I guess, it's gonna be convenient. Not convenient, but interesting next Sunday because the first episode will have aired. We can talk about it at some point during that live stream. Friday, I think we're closing off. I don't want, there's a lot going on. All right, cool. So just remember, check the show out on Wednesday on BET, 10 p.m. Eastern. It should be fun. Maybe I found love. Maybe I didn't. Who knows? You'll have to see. Wednesday is we'll do the live stream on Wednesday. We can watch it together. We'll do it together. Shayna Love Coach says, lately I've seen twists and turns in the chat discussions. I'm here for it. Yeah, this has been interesting. Two in a row. And then of course Wednesday is going to be definitely not the same type of live. So be prepared. This is going to not be a Jamaica discussion on Wednesday. This is going to be purely a watch party. And I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting to do this. I wasn't expecting to have a watch party on Wednesday. But I guess gotta give people what they want. This is gonna be funny. It's gonna be fun. Sorry, getting the last few comments in here. Just says you may find love sooner than later. We'll put out the word just saying, okay. Oh man, this is so funny. Andrew Blake says, good show, Throp. Best of luck with the show and bad luck to make a rugby team. Unfortunately. Okay. I'm gonna sign off. I'll let the chat keep going for a little bit, and so everybody can wrap up their combos. So I'll do for another couple of minutes or so, and I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you all. It's been fun. I'll leave you with the beach there, and I'll leave the chat open, and you guys can finish up your conversations. I will see you on Wednesday on the watch party live stream, which I was not planning on doing, but we'll do it. It should be fun. Thanks everybody for joining. There's a lot of fun today. This time just flies by. I'm not even kidding. Just hanging out with you all. I really do enjoy this, and I'm enjoying this whole process. All right, we'll see you all on Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, for the watch party of After Happily Ever After on the